It is a minute to the top of the hour, East African time. In just 3 hours from now, Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga's ultimatum to the President William-led government the ultimatum will be lapsing. We have that plus much more in this broadcast, including tonight, security beefed up in major installations, including the State House and state lodges across the country, as the Azimio deadline to President Ruto lapses in hours.
We will be speaking to the country tomorrow as the Azimio coalition upon expiry of the deadline to set out the next course of action.
Former Treasury CS Ukur Yatani threatens to sue controller of budget Margaret Nyakango as Azimio and Kenya Kwanza lock horns.
Let each person learn to carry their own cross. And we are going to start a process of removing Nyakango from office.
And in our exclusive interview, we speak to Turkana Governor Jeremiah Lomurukai on the measures the county is putting in place to secure the troubled region.
Kile ambacho ni chanzo ya mambo hayo ni mambo zaidi ya watu kutaka kupata mali kwa wengine.
This as a section of leaders demands the full deployment of KDF officers to the region.
It is now the time to deploy the military to take lead in that operation going on in North Rift.
Good evening. It is 9 p.m. East African time. My name is Eric Munene. Our sign language interpreter is Droda Nyamai. We begin. UDA Secretary General Cleophas Malala has urged anti-corruption agencies to investigate former President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga for alleged misuse of public funds shortly before the 2022 general election. Additionally, former Treasury CS Ukur Yatani has reportedly threatened to take legal action against controller of budget Margaret Nyakango, who accused him of pressuring her to irregularly approve an expenditure of 15 billion shillings. Mike Kagongo kickstarts this bulletin tonight.
Tonight, former Treasury CS Ukur Yatani is fighting back over claims of irregular approval of over 15 billion shillings to allies of the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, just days before Kenyans went to the polls. On Tuesday, Controller of Budget Margaret Nyakango claimed that the former holder of public purse said that she was coerced to release over 15 billion shillings in funding for 2 state departments in violation of the Constitution. The billions, according to Nyakango, were meant to cater for the exit of Helios investment in Telecom Kenya. 9.2 billion shillings, which was approved by the National Treasury under Article 223 to the State Department for Infrastructure. But in a rejoinder, Yatani accused Nyakango of acting in bad faith, adding that the demand for the approval of the monies were above board, since it was approved by Parliament. In a 4-page letter, Yatani said it would be ironical to claim that the funds were misappropriated while some of the projects that were funded by the money in questions, like the KDF hospital, was launched by the president recently. Yatani further says he also received a similar request from the office of the deputy president of 1.5 billion shillings. Gachagwa's request, according to Yatani's, was made immediately after the 2022 general election for approval and disbursement of 1.59 billion shillings for his office use. The request included 300 million shillings for cars and 330 million shillings for hospitality, and a request that he did not grant in full but considered an amount of 500 million shillings due to the financial concerns they had at that time. Nyakango's allegations have now become the latest political dog whistle, with the UDA party demanding her ouster for agreeing to be influenced by external forces. Led by UDA Secretary General Cleophas Malala, the leaders say the funds in question were used to fund the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party's presidential campaigns.
The prosecutory organs in this country should take over the matter, investigate, and tell Kenyans what the truth is about the matter. We cannot prosecute the matter in Parliament alone. We have prosecutory organs, we have the DCI.
Let each person learn to carry their own cross. And we are going to start a process of removing Nyakango from office through legal means and legal channels, and that is the National Assembly. We've got to have people who are straight to run offices.
According to Malala, the ODM leader and his allies should take responsibility for the stolen public funds. Yatani has now threatened to sue the controller of budget, saying the allegations are defamatory. Mike Kagwongo, TV 47, Nairobi.
Now to security matters, Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot legislators led by Marakwet East Member of Parliament Kangogo Bowen want the ongoing insecurity in Rio Valley militarized in order to deal with the bandits. Hundreds of civilians have lost their lives to the unending banditry in the region.
In Rio Valley, despite the ongoing Kenya Defence Forces-backed security operation in the area, legislators drawn from Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot counties now want military to officially take over the operation to deal with bandits. Their statement comes just days after bandits staged a daytime retaliatory attack in the volatile Teritian village in Mochogoi Ward, Baringo South on Sunday.
It is now the time to deploy the military to take lead in that operation going on in North Rift.
This even as the operation to disarm warring parties in the troubled Rift Valley region has been off to a slow start, even after the 3-day amnesty period for people to hand in illegal weapons resulted in the handover of 3 guns. Most of the fighting has been between communities over grazing land and livestock, made worse by the ongoing diverse drought.
We are asking that permanent military bases be established along those areas so that no community will have any reason whatsoever to have arms in the pretext of protecting themselves from external aggression.
Last month, Kenya Defence Forces was deployed to conduct a joint security operation with the police in all banditry-prone areas to combat lawlessness, which has caused tensions among communities.
They are behaving that this is a banana republic. It is not. They should be arrested and the full force of the law. And we have agreed if there are any leaders that either way or in another way that are involved, the rule of law should be followed. There is no one that is above the law in this republic. And therefore, we appeal to the president. It is no longer tenable. Yourself as the commander-in-chief, kindly take charge and take over. Let sanity be returned to those areas.
The most affected areas being Turkana, West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet, Baringo, Laikipia, and Samburu counties. Flora Limuki, TV 47.
Now, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Nurdin Haji, has said that the law based on facts and evidence will be faced in the case facing former Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i. In a statement to newsrooms, Haji confirmed the receipt of Matiang'i's file, saying that he will issue a decision on whether to prosecute former Interior Cabinet Secretary, that is Dr. Fred Matiang'i, in relation to an alleged police raid at his current home. Dr. Matiang'i is under probe by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations following claims that the police raided his current home on February 9th this year. The previously powerful CS was on Tuesday released after spending the day at the DCI headquarters on Kiambu Road. His lawyer, Dansan Omari, said he will be charged with conspiracy to commit a felony and publication of false information. Now, the State Department for Correctional Services is set to launch a campaign dubbed One Prisoner, One Bed and One Mattress to address the deplorable state in Kenyan prisons. Speaking during the International Women's Day celebrations in Lang'ata Women Prisons, Principal Secretary, State Department for Correctional Services, Mary Muthoni, said that the department is committed to enhancing the living conditions of inmates as per the set standards.
Life in prisons has been known to shatter hopes, dreams, and dignity. On this International Women's Day, however, inmates at the Lang'ata Women's Prison have a reason to smile as the State Department for Correctional Services announced its plans to enhance the living conditions of inmates across the country.
We are about to launch a very ambitious program across the country. One prisoner, one bed, one mattress. Because we don't want people sleeping on the floor anymore in this country. If you want to change the world, go back and make your bed.
Speaking during the International Women's Day celebration, Principal Secretary State Department for Correctional Services Mary Modhoni issued an appeal to support the campaign, saying so far 1,000 inmates out of the total 60,000 have benefited. First Lady Rachel Ruto also launched a prisons program dubbed Turkana to equip women inmates with various skills, including cross-stitching.
We want to expand Turkana offering to include other forms of creative art like crochet, bead making, basketry, needlework, knitting, and more.
The market out there does not care whether the product comes from prison or comes from a woman. They will expect quality. That is why Turkana is here. We are going to produce quality.
But even as women inmates celebrate the small milestones, women from pastoralist communities have nothing to smile about, owing to the rampant insecurity in the region that has left most of them widowed.
Imekuwa ni kilio asubuhi na mchana. Widows wanazidi kujaa. Watoto yatima tunazidi kubaki nao. Na imefika mahali kama wafugaji hatuwezi kukuja kuangalia hii maneno. Sisi tutaisha.
The pastoralist women noted that they should be involved in efforts geared towards restoration of peace.
As the world marks International Women's Day, a call has been made to champion the advancement of transformative technology and digital education to avert the digital gender gap on social and economic inequalities. Andrin Kilemi, TV47, Nairobi.
Now, there was drama in Embu High Court after two family members rose to object to a report by the probation officer on the death of their brother. Judge Njuguna noted that the family's sentiments and objection could not be taken lightly, and therefore there was need for another report.
Business was disrupted at the Embu High Court after Judge Lucy Njuguna was forced to adjourn the sentencing of 9 people who are facing murder charges and ordered for another report be carried out by officers from Kirinyaga County.
Yes.
In her ruling, Judge Njuguna noted that the family's sentiments and objections could not be taken lightly, and therefore they needed another report that took into consideration of the family. She noted that the probation report was not binding, but a key source of information in her ruling and sentencing.
Those concerns cannot be ignored, and it is important that we get a balanced report. Yes, because in the sentencing policy, the probation officer's report informs the court. I'm not bound by the report, but it is important that we get a balanced report.
The 9 persons, who include a couple and a 70-year-old man, are accused of murdering Frederick Njue over a land dispute on December 15, 2014 in Mbere North, Embu County.
We are wondering how we can live. If you look at me, the same people, they laid me. They cut me with pangas and aloes.
The first accused person is 70 years old. He is a widower and has 7 children.
The prosecution asking on the court to give a stiff penalty, taking into account that the deceased died a very painful death after sustaining a 100% burn, while submitting that the family was yet to come to terms with the traumatic incident.
And since the family has expressed bias on the part of the office, so we're going to make an order that the probation officers from a different county prepares for us reports.
Gilbert Nalwa, TV47.
Now, 3 weeks into a joint operation by the Kenya Defence Force and the National Police Service in 6 counties, highlighted as dangerous and disturbed, which are prone to banditry. Leaders drawn from the region are terming the operation a failure, pointing an accusing finger to security personnel deployed in the area for what they say is the use of excessive force. In an exclusive interview with our very own Mwangi William, Turkana Governor Jeremiah Lomurukai has cautioned the security agencies to change tack in the operation.
To understand what is really happening on the ground, we are having an interview one-on-one with the governor of Turkana, that is Jeremiah Lomurukai, to at least understand 3 weeks into the operation so far, anything has changed, what has changed, and what are the residents of Turkana and parts of the North Rift region have to say about this particular operation. Thank you for your time, Governor. Let us start from here. How is the situation in the North Rift region, particularly your county of Turkana, where the operation is ongoing?
Okay, I want to take this opportunity first to thank you for that very important question. Number two, our expectation as a county, as the people of Turkana County, was that operation was meant actually to weed out the criminals who have been attacking people from the main center of Kainuk. Attacks that have really taken life of different community members and even security. I think we thought they were coming actually to map out where those criminals were coming from, and that even the guns have stolen from the officers they stole, those people who banned the vehicles are weeded out and found and arrested and arraigned in court to answer questions why they are killing our security personnel who are bestowed with the power to take care of our lives as the people of Kenya. Number two, I think the operation has taken a different dimension.
But it begs the question, with the presence of boots on ground already, the KDF, the National Police Service, will this solve the issue of banditry that for a very long time has affected the people of Turkana and the North Rift?
The KDF are not doing the right thing, because when that engagement happened, the KDF, after Kosing released some statement through FB. Within about 30 minutes, two helicopters came from wherever and attacked our village of Kalimngoro. They have killed our people. They have injured a number of them. So that is why I was saying that the thing has taken a different dimension. Majorly the Kenya Defense Forces now using big weapons to attack the innocent people. Imagine they went and targeted the sale yard. What happens at the sale yard? People sell goats. Children play around there because it's just near the center, a well-established center of Kalimngoro. They came, attacked that particular area, injured the people, killed others. So that's why I'm saying my proposal is that the Kenya Defense Forces should not use that massive force to weed criminals. Because when Pokos killed the security people, we did not see those helicopters. When they stole our properties in the morning from in those areas, Logum, Nakwamoru, and Kaputiri and Juluk, we did not see the helicopters. But when our boys followed now the cows from Kakongu towards the same, just near the RDU, the helicopters came and started bombing. Not a single bomb, not two. It was, in fact, we are saying, is this the border, is this happening between our border and South Sudan? Because that is where that kind of malice should happen, because there is that military engagement every time on and off, and even our minister visited there. Okay, I think for a long time, my expectation, I've been a member of parliament, and for the 5 years I was a member of parliament, I was able for the first time in history of Loima to ensure that I have brought peace between the people of Loima and the neighbors, the Pokot community of West Pokot, and majorly the constituency of North Pokot. For 5 good years, not a single raid, not a person was killed for 5 good. That was history. I was supposed to receive an award. And the same people I saw, the same members of parliament I saw mentioning my name, after that engagement in Kainuk, I saw somebody, Moroto, who has been all this time an architect of criminals. And I think I thought he was retiring. He was doing something too.
Allegedly,
we are alleging, because I know he's been there when I was a councillor. Remember, I've been in this leadership for more than 25 years.
Let us shift from from mentioning names here.
Yeah. But I was mentioned. Did you people really tell those people not to mention me?
Bwana Governor, one of the benefits that we as a country got from the 2010 constitution was devolution.
Yes.
That means development trickling down from the national government down to the county government. And some of the reports that have come out, the recommendations to deal with banditry, that is one of the issues fueling insecurity in the area, is banditry. And these reports have been recommending that other empowerment of residents or people of the North Rift region to engage in other economic activities like farming and other things. What is the county government doing? What are you doing to ensure that your people are empowered otherwise economically, not only to depend on cattle, but also farming and other economic activities?
Okay, I just want to make a correction. My people from Turkana County do not depend on cattle rustling, because you members of the fourth estate are following the kind of raids that have been happening all through, burning of houses, torching of innocent mamas, killing of innocent soldiers. All these have been happening from one particular area. And in fact, who have become criminals against many counties. So in Turkana County, my engagement as a governor is to try to find a solution to the drought situation that has always been ravaging our county, to an extent that many people have been rendered poor because we depend a lot on livestock. So because of drought, like now drought has taken about, it's now approaching the 4th year without Turkana County getting a drop of water. So I am focused in ensuring that we are producing food. That's why in our budget we put enough money to try to, as per what even the president has requested, to try ways we can get enough land that we can irrigate, so that Turkana produce their own food, so that Turkana do not rely on relief, so that Turkana are able to use the same food to sell to the neighborhood, get the money, and continue doing trade with other communities, go to Uganda, where we have at least a bit of relationship, get sugar from there, get maize from that, and go to Ethiopia. Like now we are engaging in a bit of business, something I have done. To put some peace, which something that has never been there. My people now, we can get a lot of lorries going now to Ethiopia to get maize from that particular end. So what I am doing is to empower the livestock user association, give them some loans so that they can engage in viable and activities that can bring good image into this country, but not cattle rustling. That is basically, there is a lot we are doing as a county to try to drill a lot of boreholes so that our livestock don't continue crossing and going to other areas and get harassment from maybe the GA from Uganda, from the Toposa in South Sudan, or the Malire from Ethiopia. We want to drill or to put up many boreholes within our areas and even dams, so that we are able to produce food there, even produce pasture for our animals, and even ensure that we have produced or gotten enough water for our livestock in those particular belts. There's a lot we are doing, even to the youth groups, to the women groups, and through cooperatives, through Biashara Fund, and also we have put a number of funds through even the Women and Youth Fund. We are very soon giving a number of checks, and the least person will get 250 Kenya shillings to ensure that our boys are engaging in different activities than going for cattle rustling, than going to kill innocent soldiers along the highways.
Fair enough. Then how best, let me pick your mind on this, then how best within the 6 counties will this exercise of disarmament be carried out from where you sit as a governor? What will you propose? Because you have noted that whatever is happening currently, the direction that the KDF has taken, you are not in agreement with that. Then how best should these exercises be taken?
Because I come from areas that are prone to insecurity, I am in a position, and because I've also done something previously to try to bring a good relationship between Turkana and the Pokot, something very unusual. So what I think it should be done by the CES Interior and other security agents within that specific ministry is first to bring the leadership together or even separate them, start with the Turkana people, ask them what it should be done actually to bring a good relationship between these warring communities. If I was asked the question of what should be done, personally, it is very difficult to disarm the Pokot community, those militia, people owning guns. Very difficult. Matiang'i tried, it failed. And then he even tried a second time, it failed. Then others have been trying for several times. It is difficult because of the terrain. Loima borders North Pokot and it stretches up to this Gor. That terrain, the first disarmament, Pokot only managed to give out 6 guns. The Turkana people were able to give 1,500 guns. The six they gave out were the dead ones because they wanted to portray given out guns. So the issue we must map properly and know what amicable way you can apply to disarm areas with very complicated terrain. Because the killings in those terrains, there is no day security people have saved people in that terrain. So until they assure the people of Turkana County that this is how those pastorals who live in those terrains will be disarmed, because we live in plains. It is as easy as actually as counting ABCD to disarm a Turkana person, because our terrain is just mere plains. You just tell the chiefs you want the guns. It has always been successful that when you tell them many guns, chiefs will engage the youth and many guns are returned. Why Kainuku is vulnerable is because we gave out our guns during Salah disarmament. There was this guy who was doing disarmament there. The people in Kainuka, Putir, Lorokon, that entire belt up to Lokori gave out their guns. So these people have taken advantage of that disarmament to come now and harass the innocent, the people who are armless. Maybe 5 people are armed, and these people are armed in thousands. So it must first map and get appropriate way of doing this disarmament, and then it should not be a disarmament that is using a lot of force, like the KDF are doing. It should be a peaceful disarmament. That is the one that was applied in Uganda, and it became successful. Then even Matiang'i also applied that peaceful one, and he returned a lot of guns there in the record of government. So we need to apply a peaceful disarmament, and that should be done by either the RDU, the AS2, the police. These are the security, not the KDF, because you have just seen what they have done, because they are not used to doing that one. Theirs is using excessive force, and that thing should not be applied. I think we need to retreat and come with a way forward, a serious way forward of disarming all communities. And then we need to study their terrains. First, we need to study their terrains. And then place security people according to the nature of the terrain. So that when we are disarming, you will have assured the rest of the communities who live in plains that all of us will be disarmed. The last one, it's difficult again in disarming the Turkana people because we border 3 countries. All those countries are warring. If the Turkanas along that particular belt were not armed, you can see some pictures when the CS went. I think we were with you. Yeah. When we went to Nadapal, we were addressing an armed team. That is the team that takes care of our security, and you had that mentioned. It's good. It's you who is really asking me questions. You heard the locals say, return your security back to Nairobi, because they cannot do anything here. They cannot protect themselves. As we are protecting our cows, we are protecting our people, and we are protecting your security. If the security, those local security along those borders were not there, let me tell you, Sudan will now be living in Lodo town. Ethiopia will be in Lokitang. And then the GA, that militia group from Uganda, will be staying in Kakuma. Yeah. So again, we are advising them not to disarm that particular. If you say disarmament, you will fix our security. Our security will never protect our borders. That has been tried, and some of us will never accept it because of the nature of what is happening along the borders. It's our people who are protecting. When the war was in Kibish, our askaris were killed. Many of them were killed during that war in Kibish. Until when our locals now came to intervene, and Moi was now saying, let the boys now help us. That is when we resuscitated the things that were happening along that particular belt.
Two questions, as we call it a wrap. One, just without mentioning names.
Yeah, of course I have not mentioned names.
Without mentioning names, do you believe that some politicians have been benefactors of cattle rustling from the northeast?
I would even answer that one if you can't mention a name of the people doing it. Of course.
Because the allegations are some politicians are benefiting.
You see, when I had some politicians saying, mentioning our names, they will mention the name of Lord Menen. They also mentioned the name of a peacemaker whose record is known like the governor for Turkana County. And then they even mentioned the MP like Dr. Ariko, that they are involved. Let me tell you, if the leaders in Turkana were involved in inciting people, equally our security people will also be experiencing killings from the side of Turkana. If the Turkana leaders were inciting people, we will also be burning houses of the Pokot people and killing and burning the children and mothers. As that something like that happened from the Turkana side, Turkana people don't kill women, Turkana people don't kill children, they don't kill security. So there are politicians from the other sides, from the side of Baringo and from the side of West Pokot, who are inciting their people. Do you know the engagement that is continuous in Kanuk between the Pokot and our security personnel? Even when the army has come, they are being terrorized by the Pokot. Turkana is doing that. When Turkana sees a vehicle, even along the highway, just a Turkana carrying a gun sees a vehicle of security personnel, they will always run away. But this is a team, because there's no way in security will continue if the leaders or my people now engaging in fighting every time. It means I am behind that particular thing. So the leadership from those other areas you are telling me not to mention by names, those people are involved in this activity, and you have heard, you have seen with your eyes. Yeah.
Let's call this a wrap. Leaders, politicians, you have an influence across the country, even the regions that you represent. What will be your final word? And what is your take on this particular issue? What will you tell other leaders from those 6 counties affected by banditry?
It is the role of elected leaders to amicably talk to their people, tell them to become peacemakers. It's their role again to tell people it's only in education, in trade, and other very viable socio-economic activities that we can get good results. Not in inciting people to kill innocent mamas, innocent children, and innocent security personnel. Majorly security personnel. Maybe they are used to killing other people. How do you kill security people who are given the space to protect yourself, to protect your children? So that is just the position. That's what the leaders should do.
Okay. Thank you for your time, Governor Turkana Jeremiah Lomurukai. Thank you for your time.
As you enter a new phase of life, you may seem lost until you discover the passion within.
I'm happy that MKU decided to open a branch in Malindi to make work easier for those parents who have never been away from their kids or children
has all the equipment that I need to study and all the facilities that I need.
You've seen we have one of the most beautiful and ultra-modern structure.
Join us at Mount Kenya University and Equip Africa Institute Malindi Odell Center to build your future. Intake in April for electronic learning and May for distance learning. Mount Kenya University.
Unlocking infinite possibilities.
Karibuni.
Mount Kenya.
Kaluma King Herbal Lozenges zinazo nguvu maradufu kutuliza kikohozi, vidonda vya koo na mafua. Kaluma King ni shwari.
Tika mama huyo muharifu kaiba kuku zangu, vifaranga wangu na mayai zote pia kabeba. Aya, tika mama huyo.
Maumivu yakizidi, muone daktari.
Welcome to Nyali Golf View Residence, where a luxurious accommodation is inspired by the Indian Ocean. This exclusive residential community offers the ultimate in coastal living along Links Road, Nyali, near Mamba Roundabout. With breathtaking views of the golf course, ocean, and landscaped gardens, every moment spent in your home is an experience of tranquility, comfort, and luxury. Every detail of your spacious, fully furnished apartment has been designed with your comfort and style in mind, with open-plan living spaces, high ceilings, and elegant finishes that exude sophistication and relaxation. Experience resort-style living with a wide range of amenities, including a state-of-the-art fitness center, swimming pool, children's playground, 24-hour security, and concierge services. Experience the ultimate in luxury living and golfing at Nyali Golfview. Contact us today to schedule a visit and discover the lifestyle of your dreams. Nyali Golfview Residence, luxurious accommodations inspired by the Indian Ocean.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Jeremiah Lomurukai, the Turkana governor, of course, giving his perspective on the current ongoing joint security operation by the Kenya Defence Forces and the National Police Service, speaking exclusively to our reporter, William Wegi. And of course, you can catch that interview on our official YouTube page. Now, tonight, Kenya Kwanza and Azimio coalitions have locked horns ahead of Azimio's much-anticipated announcement on whether they will stage mass action following the expiry of the 14-day ultimatum tonight at midnight. Now, Kenya Kwanza claims Odinga has been sending emissaries to President William Ruto as late as last night to secure what the ruling party says is another handshake, claims that Azimio has laughed off. And as our senior political reporter Apollo Kamau reports, the government has scaled security alertness in key state installations, starting with the State House.
When and whether the Azimio coalition will march to State House starting Thursday to petition President William Ruto, having failed to honor the opposition's demands in their 14-day ultimatum, which lapses Wednesday midnight, remains the key question. The opposition outfit and the ruling UDA party traded barbs on Wednesday after claims of last-minute night meetings emerged with the hope of reaching a truce.
Tungependa pia kusema kwamba hii sarakasi yote ambayo inafanywa na watu wa Azimio ni kwamba wanatafuta handshake. Up to yesterday evening, they were sending people to see if they can have a talk with our president.
Where are you getting that? Because I don't think any one of us here is aware of what you are discussing. We will be speaking to the country tomorrow as the Azimio coalition upon expiry of the deadline to to set out the next course of action.
The claims emerged amid reports that the government side had tried reaching out to former President Uhuru Kenyatta to stop the mass action, which the government deems disruptive to economically burdened Kenyans.
We will take it ourselves to government offices if that can help us get coherent and believable answers on the matter of the economy, which we can then share with the citizens of Kenya.
The government is said to be leaving nothing to chance and has scaled up security in key state installations, among them State House and state lodges, given Azimio's call to their supporters to march to the State House. Odinga is expected to address his supporters on the way forward on Thursday, despite the opposition remaining tight-lipped on the way forward, coming in the backdrop of appeals opposing the demos. Odinga's Thursday political direction statement will also set the stage on who blinks first between him and a government that has already adopted a hardline stance on the possibility of dialogue and a handshake. Apul Kamau, TV47.
Now moving on, the Kenya Forest Service has today conducted a nationwide recruitment of forest rangers who will join KFS and KWS to help protect wildlife and forest cover in the country. In West Pokot County, the exercise is being conducted at Makutano Stadium, where hundreds of youth presented themselves, for the exercise. I was speaking to TV47, Kachaliba, Member of Parliament, together with other leaders who attended the exercise, asked West Pokot youth to take up the opportunity in order to offer their services to the county.
West Pokot tuko Makutano Stadium ili kupea chance our young people, our young men and women to join the Kenya Forest Service as forest rangers. We started off and we are expecting to close at 5.
Sasa inaendelea vizuri. Ijapokuwa namba ni kubwa wale wanataka hii kazi. Na nafasi ni chache kabisa. Kwa sababu sasa nataka watu 20 peke yake. Na vijana ni wengi.
Tumeona kazi inaendelea vizuri. Hamna rabsha, hamna mambo mengine ambayo ya kutata hapa na pale. Kwa hivyo hii kazi ni mzuri, tumeshuhudia sisi wenyewe.
Now, individuals and private companies will soon be licensed to build dams in a new government move to increase water supply. This is according to Water Services Board Chairperson Professor Simon Gisharu, who said the move will help solve the water crisis that has been occasioned by dried water bodies. Gisharu was speaking during the issuance of an 80-year-old license to Thika Water and Sewerage Company, the WASCO, to continue providing water services under the provision of the Water Act 2016, becoming the first water provider in the country to acquire such a license. According to Gisharu, the decision to issue the certificate to the WASCO was informed by the company's commercial viability and ability to adequately meet the water needs of over 300,000 residents.
We are saying there is a problem of water. We are saying that in the country, we have relied with the government of Kenya, to be the only institution building dams. And the reason that has been the case is that once they build dams, they provide water for free to the water service providers. And what we are trying to do is to encourage investors to build dams and build them professionally. You remember there is one that broke in Nakuru and killed people. So we'll also be saying that once they are doing it, they do it professionally.
There are conditionalities in the license that we must continually meet, because the conditionalities require that we continue improving our service delivery in terms of hours of service, in terms of non-revenue water, in terms of revenue collection, in terms of managing the resources in the best way. So we can only assure the residents that things will continue to be better.
Let's get the latest from the world of business. According to official data collected by the Central Bank of Kenya, the country's imports have risen by 16.21% to reach a total of 2.49 trillion shillings. This increase can be attributed to the high costs of importing fuel and food, as well as Kenya's dependence on traditional farm produce for exports. The total import bill now represents 73.45% of the original budget for the current year, which ends in June. Unfortunately, the narrow range of exports has not kept pace with the increased imports, resulting in a 15.26% widening debt in the country.
Export-led growth. Can we export more to the EAC, to COMESA, to outside Africa, to Africa continent through Africa Continental Free Trade Area? Is it possible to do that? It is only possible if you are locally and globally competitive, because in African market, we'll be competing with everybody. How do we make sure we create an ecosystem where the SMEs can be able to deal with their logistics, can be able to deal with the access to finance, can be able to develop better products for export market? Today, if you are given an order, and this is shocking, and there's always order for export of chicken. If you're given an order to export chicken to Dubai through Dubai World, and you're given 10 containers every day, Kenyans cannot afford to get that. They don't have. And all of that comes from industrial manufacturing of animal feeds. So how do we make sure that animal feeds are cheaper? Very soon, right now, the egg is going for 20 shillings or even 21 shillings. Yeah, the cost of manufacturing of animal feeds is going up.
Now we are talking of 125 shillings, and that's a heavy rate of depreciation. Given that we are a net importer as a country in terms of the raw materials, intermediate products, and also the finished goods that come into the country. A net importer is disadvantaged by a depreciated exchange rate.
Now, as the world commemorates the Women's Day, the National Bank has set at least 5 billion shillings for a pro-women initiative dubbed NIA. The initiative is set to offer a range of financial solutions from business loans, asset financing, and overdraft facilities to help women entrepreneurs meet their business needs. This comes a week after the government announced that women will access 13.5 billion shillings under the Women Enterprise Fund, a second product of the Hustler Fund. Now, speaking during the launch, NBK Managing Director George Odhiambo said the lender is committed to supporting women-led businesses and empowering women entrepreneurs in the country.
At National Bank, we want to recognize the need to continually support ladies who want to join business, who want to continue doing business. As we then launch this new opportunity, near business proposition, we want to work together with you, and then we want to look forward to you getting into businesses that are not known to look like businesses women run. I've also asked my team to look at the development of the credit analyst, to have a pool of women who relate with what you are doing, relate with women businesses.
Is that we'll not only be offering financial solutions, we'll be looking at empowering, or training, and all other solutions that support you as a women entrepreneur.
The Insurance Regulatory Authority, IRA, is holding a public sensitization exercise to enlighten stakeholders on insurance policy in all counties. The authority is targeting the low-income earner to educate them about the importance of having Bima la Mashinani, a forum with stakeholders at the county level. IRA Corporate Communication Official Evans Kibagendi said that the authority has created a consumer protection department to listen to complaints, gather information, and address them accordingly.
Having planned for Bima Mashinani. Bima Mashinani is a program that has been programmed to have forums with stakeholders so that we can be able to pass the message of insurance to counties. It has created a consumer protection department that will be there not only to listen to complaint, but they will be able to gather information about the need and the wants of people and try to assist the public in terms of claims.
That in case any insurance has been placed under statutory management or their license has been cancelled, they can always come to policyholders to claim, to come for claims. So far, we are handling 3 companies, 3 insurers. We have Concord Insurance Company, we have Resolution Insurance Company, which was placed under statutory management, I think just recently, and also we have Standard Assurance. These companies, we are paying the claims, and we want to urge the members of the public or the general public, please come out if you had any claim with these 3 insurance companies. Please come and get your compensation, because policyholders is there waiting for you. We have come in numbers, because so far we have received a few of them. With Standard, we have received 18 claims, 7 we have paid. We have Concord Insurance Company, we have received 95 claims, and so far policyholders have compensated 45 claims. We have received from Resolution 709 complaints, and we have settled 627. So we are waiting for the others to come on board.
Welcome to the latest in the world of sports. Now, FKF Premier League leaders Gor Mahia earlier today were held to a 2-2 draw by Nzoia Sugar in the FKF Premier